Yes, we're finally live. Happy Pride Month. Welcome, Ava.
Thank you for having me. Happy Pride to you as well.
Oh my God. I can feel it already. This is going to be a time. This is about to be chaos.
I'm so excited to watch. Is it Pazzy? Do you say Pazzy?
Paisy.
Paisy.
That's a great first question.
Paisy.
Yeah, that's a great first question to kick us off. I love that. I'm trying to make sure my live video on Instagram is working, but anyways, so we're actually live on a number of platforms, which is exciting. This is WNBA Tonight. We're live every Thursday watching the WNBA and yapping over on Buzzer. Hi, everybody who's joining. This is going to be such a fun time. So a really quick speed intro because the game is fully already going. The game is live over on Prime, by the way. The Wings are up 9-4 against the Mercury. It is actually the Pride Night game in Dallas. It is sold out, so it's an absolute banger live, but we're going to do our best to meet that energy here. It is also, Ava, the Commissioner's Cup, which is the in-season tournament for the WNBA. So I'll talk us through that here and there, especially if we have some PWHL fans who are new to the W. Do you have any questions before we dive into being gay and watching basketball?
Hey, Blossom Fleet. Hey, Brian. Are you watching on YouTube? Are you enjoying the stream? We're gonna be watching some women's basketball tonight, and also maybe talking some PWHL.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We're definitely talking PWHL.
For sure.
Yeah. So I guess you had a topic that you brought to the table.
Oh yeah, this
that could be
it could
kick us off for Pride Month really well.
Yeah, this is gonna be a spicy topic. So I first started thinking about this, obviously, with like the Britta Curl being signed by PWHL Detroit and really seeing the fan reaction to that. In case you don't know, basically Britta Curl Salemi used to play for Minnesota Frost, and it was announced that she signed with PWHL Detroit. And basically, like the Instagram post that they put up for her was like so, like all the comments on it were so negative. There's a bunch of fans that were like, "We don't want you on our team." But then after that, they did some like media availability, and Britta Curl Salemi was like, "Yeah, sorry if trigger warning if people don't want to talk about this," but basically she was like, "Yeah, I know people already don't like me, and I'm used to it or whatever." And then like Manon Rayon was like, "Yeah, like we want fans to feel welcome," and we're like, "Okay, but like I don't know." It's just been interesting to see how they handle that situation. Yeah. And then looking forward to this upcoming draft, obviously we have like Abby Murphy coming in, who she's not exactly the same as Britta Curl Salemi. And like Abby Murphy, again, I'm talking about Abby Murphy specifically here, but this is kind of like a larger cultural issue where like it's really not just about Britta Curl Salemi. It's really not just about Abby Murphy, but about like an overall kind of cultural divide, because I'm sure they're not the only players that maybe don't align with the fans.
Yeah.
So it's just been something on my mind because like Torrance going to presumably pick second. So then they're looking between Abby Murphy or Layla Edwards.
Yeah, and Kyle Cushman has Abby Murphy going second in the
exactly. He has draft. Abby Murphy going second.
Yeah.
And I think there's other considerations there that I'm going to get into. But specifically when we're looking at like the off-ice stuff, then you start wondering like, okay, is this something that GMs are paying attention to? Right. And what are actually the implications of that?
Yeah. I'm going to say, as an outsider looking in, seeing Detroit's presser or whatever they were doing when they commented on it, it really doesn't seem like Detroit was anticipating that kind of flack, or they just don't, their PR approach is to be like, it's not a big deal. Like, kind of like, you know, the meme that's just like the brainwashing black and white thing. It's like, this is not a big deal. Like, that's kind of their PR approach, it felt like.
I mean, in my mind, it felt like, first of all, I was like, there's no way they couldn't have expected this. Because I think the way they talked about it, it was like, yeah, there's no way they couldn't have expected it. So maybe they're just thinking this isn't a big deal. They think it's not a big deal. Yeah. So Striatic says, I think the list is more of a skill rank than a mock draft, and I actually agree with that, because here's
Oh, I was going to ask that. Yeah, I was going to ask that.
So we're looking at Layla Edwards versus Abby Murphy.
Right.
If you look at short term, it's like, okay, so short term, I was actually talking to Brian about this. It's like, okay, we just lost Knight. Knight is our right wing. Okay, so maybe you think, okay, Abby Murphy is a right wing. We already know undoubtedly both these players are going to have immediate impact. Okay.
Right.
So short term, you're like, okay, Abby Murphy makes sense. Short term, maybe you're thinking Layla Edwards makes sense. I mean, we lost right defense with Kayla Barnes, but then I'm like, for neither of these players should you be thinking short term. For neither of these players, you should be thinking short term.
Yeah.
Because Tort is already, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Tort is already screwed. Tort is already screwed within the next 2 years, which is you only get their playing rights for 2 years in the draft. You only get their playing rights for 2 years. So it's really, we're not winning a Walter Cup in the next 2 years.
Yeah, well, okay, so somebody's saying even if I overlook Curl's views, which I don't, she's still a dirty player. Isn't that also an accusation against Abby Murphy as well?
Yeah, but they play very different games, I think. Like, okay. Abby Murphy is a little bit more so known for, like, embellishment. So, like, I would say like, Britta Curl Slammy's more known for taking penalties. Abby Murphy is more so known for drawing
diving,
penalties.
Flopping. What do you call it in hockey?
I think they call it diving or sometimes embellishment. So embellishment would be like maybe somebody hits you and you make it look bigger than it was.
Yeah.
And you can actually get a penalty for that. So like, for example, like so basically there was like a group stage game, Canada versus US in the Olympics, and then there was like the gold medal game.
Yeah.
Right? But in that prelim game, US won 5-0. And they won because this was the only reason they won. But Abby Murphy drew 4 penalties in that game, I'm pretty sure. Or at least 4 penalties. Yeah. So, and we already know reffing in the PWHL is bad. Yeah. So they need training for that.
Yeah, and so international play and PWHL play differs in what ways, would you say?
Well, that is a huge question. So I actually do think we saw like probably less physicality. Like there was still quite a big deal of physicality in the Olympics, but you know, like technically the checking rules are different. Mm-hmm. Like there's more checking explicitly allowed in the PWHL, but then again, like a lot of the refs at the Olympics were actually refs from the PWHL. So I think there was a lot of like honestly blurring of lines when it came to that. Yeah, I want the Sabres to take Murphy, but anyhow, that's beside the point. I wanted to circle back to the Abby Murphy thing though, because basically the point I was trying to make earlier was if you only get their playing rights for 2 years, then drafting that player in those initial 2 years, it's not about what you're going to do immediately. Like you need to do something with them immediately to sell them on like a winning culture with the team. Like you need to prove to them this is a winning organization short term. Yeah, even if you can't make the playoffs, you need to prove to them like we're building a team around you, we're investing in you. But long term, you need to actually convince them you need to come back for year 3.
You know that like meme with like the lady in the numbers, like I'm over here just like there's so much WNBA and like PWHL happening in my brain right now and like parallel lines.
Really? I'm just yapping because so basically before I came onto this live stream, my mind was spinning because I was like trying to think of my Abby Murphy video. So this is basically just me like brainstorming.
Yeah, no, excellent. I mean, there's a lot. Okay, so WNBA game. We are watching it. It is the Wings versus the Mercury. The Wings are up 4. I mean, okay, and also just to break this down, so we did start late as LGBTQ people have the right to do this month. And so usually I give a breakdown of kind of the matchup. The Wings are favored in this game. Like statistically, the Mercury are not that far behind, but I don't see them winning this game.
Oh. Why?
I don't see the Mercury winning this game. But they're not. So yeah, the Mercury they're not looking good. To be honest, like my very unofficial feelings about this is that they lost their mojo in the finals. They got swept last year in the finals. And I don't know personally how you come back from that. And really they didn't make a lot of, they lost Satu Sabali, which was a huge presence for them. And also I just think like she was a huge presence, but she also could have done a lot more. And I feel like oh God, again, like the PWHL, WNBA, like lines, like there's so much where it's like you have players who are on paper, well, like they're like stars, they're talented, they're like, you know, win now type of a feeling, but like it just depends on the system that they're in and the culture that they're in. Which is just, yeah, I feel like Satu Sabali is very that. And she's now in New York. I also had a question for you. So we have cities. Well, I guess we have cities. Well, oh, wait, because we have Toronto now. We have cities in North America that have both PWHL and WNBA. We have cities with one, and then we have cities with neither. So some of these are, Minnesota's not a city, but like whatever. Minnesota, New York, Seattle. How would you rank those cities that have both in terms of sports cities?
Minnesota, New York, Seattle. So I feel like obviously Minnesota Lynx are like really popular. And then like Minnesota Frost, obviously unprecedented success. I feel like Minnesota is really strong. And then like for New York, like the Liberty are so popular. Like Liberty, like when I watch like WNBA games on TV and it is a Liberty game, I'm like, that looks like the coolest thing ever. No shade to Storm because I love Storm, but there's something special about the Liberty games. I'm like, that. Like,
there's like, it feels like the vanguard of women's sports, like that whole experience. And that was such a, like, the history of that, like you should, if you look up like before the new owners took over where they were playing, like it's absolutely wild. Like they were playing in like a theater at one point, like that's always a picture that goes viral and goes around, like investing in the training facility, investing in coming to Barclays, like it's I mean, and the in-game experience too, I think is like really special. And obviously we went to the game at Madison Square Garden together, the Sirens game. And that, I think that had that same feeling. Like that environment was crazy.
Yeah. Like the Madison Square Garden game for the PWHL was cinematic, but then the question becomes, can you do that every night? And I do think the Sirens are definitely 100% trending upward, but I think honestly, like when the league first started, like they were kind of the same situation with playing in like random venues. Like they were playing in Connecticut at one point. It was really hard to get to. I actually really like Prudential Center a lot, even though I know for some folks it's hard to get to.
But when we were there, I think it was your friends who lived there who were saying like it's kind of like just a mental jump to get to Prudential Center. It's not necessarily like super far. It just feels like a far way to go. I
agree. And also like, I think it has something to do with like the New York, New Jersey, like NHL rivalries, even though like I just shouldn't say I don't care about the NHL, but I'm currently boycotting the NHL.
As one does.
But I think it has a lot to do with those rivalries as well. So New York fans are like, why is the New York team in New Jersey or whatever?
So, okay, the Mercury are staging a comeback, but I think it has more to do with the Wings, like their shots are not falling. God, there's so much happening. But I'm also reading the chat, and we have some folks with eyes on the Atlanta game. Is the Atlanta game going on? I'm over here like that scene in The Matrix with like 17 screens, so I have no free screens to follow the other games, but how are the other teams doing? I feel like everybody in the chat is watching a different women's sports event, which is kind of peak. Like I kind of love that for us.
I'm supposed to be I am watching this basketball game, but then I got distracted by just yapping.
No, like there's so much to talk about, and also the first quarter is the perfect time to do it. Like they're getting settled in, we're getting settled in. I think it's perfect.
Also,
right now, I just for a quick update, Atlanta is down 9 to New York to the Liberty.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, so we do have Atlanta. So I love Atlanta. Actually, I'm hopping on a plane tomorrow to go to Atlanta. I'm super upset that there's no freaking home game happening there while I'm there. That's depressing. But I'm going to the Audrey Hobart concert. I don't know if I'm saying her name right.
I don't know.
So that'll be fun. Also, God, I have so much. There's so much. What? Okay. Also, I got this in the mail today. Which I thought, yes, the mascot for Seattle Storm. Ava, if you didn't know, Seattle 365
Seattle
Seattle
down.
girl. Yeah,
I'm
365 Seattle
down.
girl. And since there are a lot of people like hanging out with us, and I am based in Southern Connecticut, which is like 40 minutes outside the city. So 10 toes down for the Sirens. Shout out Sirens.
Shout out Sirens.
Yeah, it's our year next year for sure. And by it's our year, I mean like playoff run, playoff presence. That's my feeling. That's my feeling. Okay, so somebody also asked, does the Commissioner's Cup matter? So they have done a really good job. Okay, so for those who don't know, the Commissioner's Cup is the in-season tournament for the WNBA. It runs in June, and they've done a good job of introducing some stakes that the players do tend to care about. What's beautiful about the Commissioner's Cup is that we see peak basketball like in the first half of the season. Like the teams, when they do play, they're playing their conference, their other teams in the conference, and they all count towards their regular season record. So that's a factor. It also comes with raising money. Every time you win, you raise money for the charity in your city, which they care about a lot. They also, if they win their conference, or if they win their conference, they head to the finals. And in the finals, if you make the finals, the players make a check, like they get a bag. So if they win, they get $500,000 to split, and if they lose, each player gets $10,000. So they've done a good job, honestly. And I was talking last week. Cam from Average Joe Sports Network was on the live stream, and one of my takes, we usually do 2 takes and a lie, which is like 2 truths and a lie. But one of my takes is that the Commissioner's Cup is actually, to me, a lot more entertaining than All-Star Weekend. But that's like, All-Star Weekend is a trip. Like All-Star Weekend is very fun. Yeah, no, I think you're onto something by saying the Commissioner's Cup is commissioner propaganda. I think that we low-key need to rebrand it, because like that is literally like if the PWHL had like an in-season tournament, that would be like calling it the like Brita Curl Cup. Like that's just weird. Like nobody messes with the commissioner. Yeah, like nobody messes with the commissioner. I think that's what it is.
Wait, what is the WNBA trophy called?
The WNBA trophy? Oh my god, wait, does the WNBA trophy have...
What's it called? Oh my god.
What is it called? I don't think it has a name. Does
it not have a name? Because like in PWHL, our cup is called Walter Cup, which is named after like Walter, so-called like Walter family.
I don't have
there's no name for it.
Yeah,
there literally is no name.
That tripped me up. I was about to pull out, because I remember the first issue of Snatch magazine, there was like a breakdown of all of the women's sports trophies. Like that would have been my go-to.
Do you want me to pull up the scores for the other game real quick?
Shout out. All right, so the game is back on. I love how... also, if we need to dabble, I know that you're stressed out about expansion, Ava. I did grab my tarot deck just in case we need predictions. I don't know.
I need that. I need that so bad.
That's so funny. We'll have Doppler bless it. All right.
And I'll really quick say we did have one comment, someone asking, what's Buzzer? Buzzer is a sports content app. It is for verified sports creators, where you can get all the best of the people you follow in sports without all the noise, without all the slop, without all the, all the stuff you don't want to see on many of the platforms that your feed's so inundated with. We're a new upstart, and that's what this is a part of. So you can check it out over there.
Yeah, I've had a good time on Buzzer, and if y'all don't know, that voice that's God, actually. So Buzzer has pulled some creators.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like for the me's on my Tamagotchi island when I interact with them.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, oh my god. Like imagine we had an NWSL heavy creator on here tonight. Like I have fantasies of like getting more creators together more often for women's sports, but like we would truly need like a third party facilitator, I think, because this is like so fun, but like absolute chaos.
Yeah, I heard that the U.S. women's national team versus Brazil game yesterday was like really wild, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, there were some haters on
in
that
a bad
team.
way.
Yeah.
So
Okay, it
I was
looks like all. Oh, shout out to anybody giving me updates on the other WNBA games. So so Chicago's staging a comeback against the Fever. That is wild.
Ooh, are they winning? Who's winning? Thanks for coming, Brian.
Yeah,
What's
thank
up?
you so. It's always good to see you, Brian. Shout out. I need to see if I follow Brian. Okay, this is super. Do we have a tarot card PWHL expansion question?
Yeah, the question is who's going to go second overall in the draft. I'm more stressed about the draft than expansion.
Okay, second overall in the entry draft, right?
Yes.
And second overall in the entry draft, I'm gonna pull one card. This is for the PWHL. Oh wait, let me do the tarot card thing. All right, no hashtags. If you're seeing this message was meant for you. If you're seeing this, you're going second in the PWHL entry draft. Okay, let's see. Oh, I got a card. Okay. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles.
What does that mean?
That's a great question. So we have to figure it out. Okay, so we have a lady with a bird, and she's wearing robes, and there's a lot of yellow. Is this ringing any bells?
Uh-oh.
No, what is?
I'm looking up the University of Minnesota colors, but I'm pretty sure
The
it involves
Gophers.
gold.
This is like gopher yellow.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's low-key over. It's low-key over. So I think Abby Murphy's going second, y'all.
All right.
Unless, let me look up what her number is. I think it's 37.
37.
Is that
1
related
plus-
to 9?
It's a 9. 9 doesn't go into 37.
Yeah, I think it's Abby Murphy.
Yeah, and so it's red and yellow, and I think Minnesota is like
it's literally those colors.
Wow. You
Unless
heard it
it
here
means-
first. You heard it here first.
Unless, so the
crazy.
only other thing it could mean is that we don't know for sure who's picking second. Like we've been assuming that Torrent is picking second, but what if the expansion teams pick second? Maybe Hamilton.
Right. That's
Peter
actually
Winston
wild
Hamilton.
that there's not like answers about that.
Maybe the 9th team picked second because it was a 9 of Pentacles.
Okay.
So maybe it's an expansion team.
Mm-hmm.
But the 9th team would be Detroit. So Detroit.
I have
picks
another
second?
card.
Okay.
Another card popped out. This is the Hermit, which is a major arcana card.
The Hermit. I don't know
The
what that
Hermit.
means. But I guess you could think of a gopher as a hermit because they go underground.
True. Or a bigot as a hermit because they don't have friends.
Well, they do. Unfortunately.
No, that's like the whole problem.
That's the whole
actually.
issue right now.
Yeah, if they didn't have friends, we'd be in a better place.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right.
Good.
Wow.
Good job with the tarot cards.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good idea.
Quick game break. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Fever and Chicago Sky are currently in overtime with 1 minute left, and it looks like the Fever might be finally running away with it.
So, is it
Wow.
ethical to switch over, or no?
I think we can always check in on other games, especially
Yeah.
early on. I mean, look, this is your bus, you're driving.
True. Wow. And I do have a CDL. All right.
I'm
gonna switch over because they're both on the same streaming service. So let's take a peek in. These are two teams too. If you're not a WNBA regular, these are two teams that a lot of people, unless they live in these cities, do not watch. Like Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, Chicago is a team that just like has had issues with performance, issues with locker room, but really like I think when you like chase the root of the issue, it goes to the front office. Like I really don't think that there's been like locker room issues that were just like strictly player. So they're an interesting team, and obviously the Fever is like the Indiana Fever is a team
Your favorite
in the
players,
WNBA.
yeah.
Oh, I have another comment on this, which was like, so I'm a terrible person because I was looking at Abby Murphy's tweets today because I wanted to figure out why people don't like her. And one of the tweets was like a quote of like, I want to say it was Sky versus Fever. I think it was a video of Sky versus Fever, and it was like, is this how you treat the player that's saving the league or something like that about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. And that's what's so hard about, I think for both these teams too, is like, and this is what's hard, like if you look at the PWHL with like Detroit picking Britta up, it's like it comes with so much noise that has nothing to do with what goes on in the locker room, in the front office. Like it becomes like in basketball, you call it like a 6-man, because it's like there's 5 people on the floor and the 6th person is, on the bench, or like a lot of times you'll refer to the crowd as the 6th man who can like influence the game. But I feel like it becomes such a presence, like it becomes such an entity in and of itself, the discourse, for better or worse. Yeah.
Like I think the discourse is real. The discourse has real effects on people because we're all people.
Yeah.
They hear what people say, for sure.
Yeah, I really don't love that for anybody involved. I really don't.
I mean,
I think it's also it's such a.
I'm kind of here for it. I'm sorry. Is that a bad thing?
No.
Is that a bad thing?
No. I think it's like, it's also like all narratives, right? And so like narratives can be wielded for good, and they can be wielded for like joy and entertainment as well.
That is true. That is true. Also,
the
Skylar
thing about
Diggins...
What about her?
Oh, she just used to play for Storm.
Yeah. That's true. I really wish she was still there. I think it's wild that she went to Chicago and she's not having a good time. Somebody that I was talking to today was like, what if she retires in the middle of a game this season?
Wait, why?
I was like, that would be why. Okay, so Atlanta's down 16 points at home to the Liberty. Wow, I'm so sorry. I do love Atlanta, but like the Liberty being in such a good place is making me feel really good. I mean, I actually don't think they're in that great of a place, but sometimes when they look good, they look really good.
Oh, Natasha Cloud.
I
always see her TikToks, but I'm a big pig. I haven't been watching her games.
Yeah. I wonder if a lot of the PWHL players like watch the WNBA player TikToks and like for inspo.
Yeah, probably, honestly, yeah.
I feel like the WNBA players are kind of like the gold standard for like building their brand, because the WNBA has just been around for so long for like the NWS, like all these other leagues, like I feel like look to the WNBA as like the blueprint.
Can we answer this person's question? Any movement news on Katarova? Remember watching her play against Boston was lethal. While I hated her scoring on us, genuinely am a fan. Yeah, she was also really lethal against the Torrent. And I haven't heard any news about her because I believe she's currently a restricted free agent. She's currently a restricted free agent with Ottawa. So she can't, right now, expansion teams can only sign free agents. I don't think anybody else can necessarily sign her during this phase. So maybe in phase 4, but she was also on like a $37,000 contract, I believe. So I think she could potentially be signed if she's not protected, but we'll probably find out maybe tomorrow or the day after.
And for PWHL expansion, we're in phase 4.
We're in phase 3.
Phase 3. And there's out of 6.
Out of 6. Can I ask you what?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is wildly underpaid, but I think she's also a player that that was like a big bet that they made on her, because they did not know how her game was going to translate to North America, to be honest. And like, yeah, picked in the 6th round, like probably when they signed her for $37,000. I mean, I think all the players making $37,000 are underpaid, but likely the Ottawa Charge management didn't even know how she was going to be able to translate her game into the PWHL. So I think she's been a huge success so far, and I really see her like being able to hopefully get a raise, and she's already making a huge name for herself in this league. Wow, this is heating up. This is getting close.
Yeah, this game is crazy. Jason, where can I look at the box score for the Fever? The thing that has been happening this season with Caitlin, teams are really doing a great job of building a plan for her. She's been having decent games, but like people are really targeting her with traps, double teams. Oh, there we go. Wow, Aaliyah Boston has 30 points and 9 rebounds.
Wow.
Yeah, Aaliyah Boston is like elite.
Wow.
Like the most elite you can get. Wow, Mo Billings 10 minutes with nothing on the board. Oh, Caitlin Clark has 30 as well, shooting 8 for 17. 13 free throws. She's definitely getting to the line. Can I look at the team stats? I feel so spoiled right now. I wonder how the whistle has been.
Let me find somewhere that I can get the full team stats. Give me a minute.
Cool. Hamilton is PWHL Hamilton is looking really nice.
Yeah. I mean, I think PWHL Hamilton is exciting because obviously, like, I mean, they have so many stars already, and I think that's what's interesting because it's like I have flashbacks from being a Torrent fan and seeing, oh, we have so many stars, we're gonna be so stacked, and like it's never a bad thing to be stacked. But, you know, they also have a great coach in Chris Spar, which I think could be a big difference maker. But, like, a lot of people, there is a salary cap, right? So then people are looking at it, and they're like, the salary cap. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yes, there's a salary cap. But I also think certain players are willing to be paid less to play in the markets they want to play. And, like, Hamilton's a very desirable market to play, especially for Canadians.
Yeah.
So
stacked is such a loaded word in women's sports. I don't quite know how it feels in men's sports, but for like the WNBA, like stacked, I feel like doesn't translate very well to like we're gonna be an elite team from the jump. Stacked is like we have too many cooks in the kitchen usually, and like really good GMs know like every championship team has just like role players that like truly understand the culture and hold it together and hold the team together. And I think that's where like it's like you separate out the great coaches and the great GMs from like the ones that are fine.
Yeah, I think coaching is the biggest difference maker that a lot of fans don't necessarily realize aside from the players. And then from hockey to basketball, it's so interesting because basketball, the teams are so much smaller. Like I remember when I found out how many people were on a WNBA team. It's like 12 or something.
That was my first PWHL freak out when I was like, because the rumor was that there was gonna be 4 expansion teams, and I asked Cam from Amateur Sports Network. I was like, Cam, how many players are on a PWHL team? What is it like? What is it?
23.
20. I was like, I was like 23 times 4. I was like, no, they can't do that. That's crazy. I was like, they're going to dismantle every existing PWHL team. But honestly, and like, that's why I think the phases do seem to make a lot of sense, like compared to the WNBA's expansion process.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting as well because like last year there was a signing window, but it was pretty much an expansion draft. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. Like the more I think about it, it's like, what if somebody just picked me and said you have to move somewhere?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. So, no, people definitely underestimate, especially when you're making women's sports salary, like and moving around like that. I don't know how people did it. Like I don't know how WNBA players were doing it. I don't know. Okay, so the Fever Sky game, which we have swapped over to, I know it says Mercury versus Wings. We will get back to that game. It is the Pride game. I'm trusting Paige Beckers and Enrique and Jess Shepard and AZ. Like, they're holding it down. I trust them. We're curious. So, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark combining for over 60 points, though, like, is
wow.
crazy. It's wow. It's really wild. Also, oh, wait, this is such a good... Okay, so did you have the Sky game on, Ava?
I have the Sky game on.
Yeah. So do you see the Sky's blue outfits?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so these are the Rebel jerseys, which is like alternate jerseys that they released, and every team's Rebel jersey this season is sick. Like it's so nice. The PWHL needs that. So are there away jerseys? Are there like alternate jerseys?
So right now they just have home jerseys and away jerseys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know who is it Nike?
It's Bauer.
Right. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When somebody said in the chat, Paige hobbling off is my worst nightmare, did Paige hobble off? Or are we just talking about our worst nightmares? Because I just finished Euphoria last night and I have a new worst nightmare.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like the fever's going to take this away.
Yeah.
I was curious, though, what the breakdown of the fouls were. Like, if Chicago was getting to the line as much as the fever were, because they are playing. Paige has a twisted ankle.
What? Right now? Right now? During Pride Month?
Oh, my God. Okay, so typically, WNBA tonight, we literally just added blessing sound to the soundboard because every game is a banger but positive. Yeah, we have the angels singing sound because there's always something amazing happening. I feel like switching the game over was bad aura. I fear we may have done something bad here. So I wonder.
That was the closest that I had to the reverse of the blessing sound already loaded in, but I'll try and find like a double sound.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Look, in sports, it's very easy to use a crying baby as a sound effect on sports live streams. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ava, I feel like your next like venture is like a PWHL soundboard.
I was literally just wrote down in my notes. I was like, soundboard? Oh, can I plug? I'm doing a live stream during the PWHL draft, which we've been forecasting, and so I'm like trying to think of like how to make it really special.
Yeah. Okay, they won. All right, so we have to go back, but I cannot believe Paige went down. Hopefully they replay it. Okay,
I mean,
so
they have an 8-point lead, so even without Paige.
Yeah, it looks decent for them right now. Big hit to the gay people in the audience, though. Oh my God, she's checking back in.
She's back.
Oh my God. Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Wow. Pride Month is back on. Pride Month is back on.
Back.
We're so back.
Can I ask how does the draft work? How does the draft work in the WNBA?
Yeah, it's a great question. So expansion this year, there were two teams. There were two expansion teams, Toronto and Portland.
Wow.
There was a coin toss, and whoever got the coin toss could go they could pick first overall in the expansion draft, or they could go sixth overall in what you would call the entry draft in the PWHL, the college draft. Then the other team would just pick seventh in the entry draft, the college drafts. Every existing team could protect 5 players.
Whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah, it's like
that is crazy.
yeah. Now that I know how the PWHL went with it.
Like 5 out of 12 players versus 3 out of 23 players is crazy.
Yeah. It's so interesting because it feels like a gauntlet in the PWHL, but also it's like it was all kind of constructed to give them choice because the expansion draft, like the players that are selected had no choice.
Right.
And so ultimately, like 22 players went to one of those two teams. And then it also was a snake. So once they decided who went first, it was a snake with the with the expansion. And then with the college draft, it's a really hard thing to follow because people in the off season are always trading picks. They'll do a pick and a player. They'll do, I'm trading 2030's third round pick for next year's. So there's like a lot of transactions. So they can
trade like the future picks and stuff.
Yeah. So it's a lot to follow. And there's also kind of, I guess, similar in the PWHL. There's a sense that you kind of know like what the order is going to be most years. But I mean, it is interesting because once you get into like deep into the first round, into the second round, teams really do have to be thoughtful with like how they adapt to what the other teams are doing because they're not communicating. One, I think, difference with the WNBA and the PWHL drafts, the WNBA teams do not share their list of protected players. It's not public knowledge. It's just speculation. And I think there's been leaks. But by and large, we really don't know.
That is interesting. That is super interesting. So you actually have, in a way, less visibility into that process.
Yeah.
How long are playing rights held after the draft in the WNBA?
For the college draft, the rookie contracts are 4 years. I forget if it's 4 years with the option to extend or if it's 3 years with the option to extend into 4. But that's how it's been. Obviously, this year was a big year for the W. There was a new collective bargaining agreement that was struck, and that has come with some slight changes to what rookie contracts and development player contracts look like. And every team can carry 2 development players that don't count towards their salary cap now. Not every player is eligible for that. You have to play, I think, less than 4 years in the league to be eligible for it. But that's been something that's new with the, thank you. 3 years with a 4th year option at the team's discretion. I appreciate that. Yeah, people tend to say like, oh, it's 4 years, but I figured it was the option to extend. But yeah, I mean, WNBA and PWHL, I think I've been trying to follow the PWHL expansion. We have the kind of concept of restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents, who's eligible for expansion. I'm trying to think if there's there's a lot of similarities, I think. But obviously the structure of it itself is just very different. I don't think, is there any other parallel or like, does any other league in sports do something similar to what they've done with the phased expansion?
I have never heard of that before.
No, same.
But I also don't think any league has expanded from 8 to 12 teams at once.
Yeah.
That I know of.
I thought it was delusional. But obviously I've been following like your content. Like I've been following content from PWHL creators and like really trying to lock in on like actually reading, actually learning. And it doesn't, I'm like no longer feeling like it's crazy. It feels like, yeah, like if you're gonna take a swing, like bringing professional women's hockey to America, like to the world, it makes sense to do it now when the audience is captive.
Yeah, I mean, do I think it's crazy? Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, and I think when we look at the league next year, there's going to be growing pains. Like, it's going to be crazy. Like, I don't know for sure if we even saw it last year. Like, yeah, it's not going to be like when you have 6 teams. Yes, every game is going to overtime. Every team, there's so much parity. We don't know how that's going to play out next year, and that's the reality of the situation. But that's fine because I still like that they're expanding early and kind of creating these teams for players to grow into instead of us getting to the point where it's like, okay, now we're having an entry draft and players from the entry draft can't find spots on the team or what have you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think also PWHL and WNBA, it's like WNBA has been around a long time on the business side, on like the brand building side. I feel like the PWHL can look to the W. But the W is very new to like bringing international talent in. Whereas I feel like with the PW, it's like they had to figure that out immediately. Like they had to make that work immediately because that's where so much of the elite talent is.
I mean, I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a good take on this. Yeah, I mean, I think like even for me, and this is my fault because I'm American, but like I just haven't watched that much like international. Like I mean, I watched like the international teams. Yeah. Like during international events, but like I mostly just watch like American hockey, or even if I watch like college hockey, it'll be like obviously there's like international stars in like the NCAA as well, but yes.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's going to be more eyes on like the Frozen Four, like the March Madness of the PWHL.
I already think the Frozen Four is. This is a hot take, but I already think the Frozen Four is more popular than the PWHL.
Really? By like vibes or viewership or what?
Well, the Frozen Four is on TV, so let's start there. The Frozen Four is on television, and then college sports are also really popular. Like college sports are so popular. I mean, you even see that with like college basketball. Like college sports are just so insanely popular. So like the PWHL is still trying to catch up to that.
Yeah, that's really bad. I forgot that we were watching on live streams. Wow. That's so real. We're still so young.
Can I answer this question about the playoffs?
Please do.
Yes. How do you think the playoffs are going to work next year? 8 teams, 6 teams with a bye. So I think what's really interesting about this is because I still don't know if they're going to do conferences or divisions, right? Like we're adding the West Coast teams. Are we going to have a situation like a West Coast and then an East Coast?
This year. You're saying this year. We don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, I would hope it's at least half of the teams get to make it. Yeah. But I don't know exactly how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so WNBA tonight, Pride game, Dallas Wings versus Phoenix Mercury. So it looks like the Phoenix Mercury, I mean, this is exactly what I was expecting. I think Dallas was favored 59% to 41%. I'm just trying to look. Dallas, I think, is averaging, I want to say, like close to 90 points a game. So this is a fairly low scoring game for both. I feel like we could maybe see a more exciting second half.
Yo, this box score is insane. It is like all Paige.
Yeah, she's been going on. So, yeah, and I think she is the leading scorer, I think close to 19 points. What's crazy is the rookie, Olivia Miles from the Minnesota Lynx. I think that their stats are super similar. Like Olivia Miles is like the moment right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shooting 11-14, 2 for 2. Paige Beckers also, for those who don't know, like I think one of the things that makes her so elite in the WNBA and in college, like she's always been this way in high school. Like she has always been such an elite, like efficient guard. Like she takes the right shot every time. Like I think she's been challenged more in the W naturally because the W is obviously the most, elite players in the world. But now that she has her footing, oh my God, like the shot selection, the court vision, there are just so many things about Paige that people can say. And I know, especially if you're new to the WNBA, there's a lot of conversation about Paige Beckers, about Caitlin Clark. They are very different players. Like they are very different guards. They are both guards. They do both have kind of that point guard storyline. And also I think they both have that, like, should they play on the ball? Should they play off the ball? Debate. But Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark, the biggest difference between them is that Paige Beckers is efficient. Like she takes shots and makes them. Caitlin Clark can have nights where she is just chucking shots. Caitlin Clark obviously is known as a high volume shooter, and I don't think people tend to call Paige that, but she does. She can have 20, 30. She had a 35-point game last season. So somebody asked, what is a double-double in basketball? So there are 5 major statistical categories in basketball. And God help me if I'm going to be able to name them all. But points scored, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. And that was 5, right? And so if you get double digits in 2 of those categories, that's called a double-double. And if you get double digits in 3 of those categories, it's called a triple-double. And obviously we don't see a lot of quadruple doubles, or what would it be, a quintuple double. That is like elite level of hooping. Like you're making a huge impact on the floor. So that's, people love double-doubles, people love triple-doubles.
Can I answer this question about, did you hear Nicole Hensley is signed? Yeah, actually, so basically what happened was Las Vegas signed goaltender Nicole Hensley. So now they have a goaltender, and I actually really like this signing. Basically, Nicole Hensley, 2-time Walter Cup winner with Minnesota Frost. But what's been interesting about, Nicole Hensley's trajectory is Minnesota, they always had that storyline of like they have a 1A and a 1B. They have the goaltending tandem, and that's what won them the Walter Cup is they can either start Nicole Hensley or they can start Maddie Rooney. Nicole Hensley, one of the first players they ever signed. Maddie Rooney, undrafted, okay? Maddie Rooney was literally undrafted, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Both of them have Team USA experience. Maddie Rooney won gold with Team USA in 2018, shootout, She was very young when that happened. Nicole Hensley also has Team USA experience. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I think probably when they started off that team, they were like, Nicole Hensley's going to be our starter. And now, like, Maddie Rooney was their only goaltender that they started during the playoffs this year, which is kind of wild. And, they're going with they chose to protect Maddie Rooney over Nicole Hensley. And so, yeah, really happy for Nicole Hensley because that's the awesome thing about expansion is as cool as it was to see them be a goaltending tandem, they both deserve to be starters. I like this opportunity for Nicole Hensley. She's from Colorado, so West Coast team. I think that makes sense for her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I was expecting Nicole Hensley to leave for sure as soon as Maddie Rooney was unprotected, but really happy for her.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments said, I think this is a cool comparison. So KK Harvey is my Paige Beckers, and Paige Beckers is my KK Harvey baby goats. So fun to watch. That's such a fun it's such a there's a lot of parallels there. I feel like I've talked about this before too. So I don't know hockey culture very well. I feel like the world is learning about hockey culture right now. WNBA, there is so much charisma on, you go to the WNBA, there are just so many, celebrities. You know what I mean? They just, you just live, breathe, and eat. Imagine them working at a coffee shop. They would just, you know what I mean? They're just, meant to be famous. And I don't know if this is, the age of the PWHL, but, I was telling Cam once, I was like, I feel like the PWHL needs some lightning strikes of big players, big storylines, big moments, and big personalities. And KK Harvey is really cool. I have followed KK Harvey for I think 3 or 4 years. I don't know how I got onto her, but she's a really cool, exciting player. I'm curious if she'll have that effect coming into the PWHL this season. But I also feel like she is quite reserved and low key. She's a little nonchalant. And I feel like there's just a nonchalant epidemic happening. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, honestly, I feel like it's hilarious that you say that because I think overall when you look at hockey culture compared to basketball culture, hockey, I don't want to talk about the NHL, but in general, most of these players, they're not. I think part of hockey culture is because it's a bigger team, it's more about here's your role on the team. Don't stand out. You don't really want to be known as a diva, quote unquote. And so that is a big cultural difference. So it's hilarious when you say that about KK Harvey because it's is she nonchalant? Yeah, but she's probably the biggest celebrity of I would not even say probably. I would say she is the biggest celebrity. She is the biggest celebrity within women's hockey right now.
Interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think again that just comes down to the cultural differences. She does TikTok dances. It's who else is doing TikTok? Okay, some other people are doing TikTok dances now, but most of them are not doing TikTok dances.
I used to joke with so I said, I followed KK Harvey for a while. I'm a big Paige Beckers fan, and so I could see the whoever said that, I could see the Paige Beckers potential in KK Harvey, even knowing nothing about hockey. So I was like, I'm gonna follow KK Harvey. What was I gonna her TikToks, you know how there's editors, there's the editor community on social media. They were using scraps with KK Harvey. I was like, KK Harvey,
where are they finding this footage?
Ago? I know.
Literally, that's my thing with. I'm for women's hockey edits, it's to even find that footage. I've tried to make edits before, and I'm where are y'all finding this footage?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
God
so
knows,
I just remembered
the patience.
the KK Harvey thing where she like, I think she for some reason on accident had her phone like on her uniform and like dropped it on the ice. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Yeah, but then later on, I think it was the World Championship, she scored a goal, and then after it, she hit the phone celly.
That's so good. Yeah,
And
that's like the other thing too. Like the cellies in hockey, I think are really fun, but like there's just so much room to grow there.
Yeah, I love the cellies. I love the cellies.
Yeah. That's a really interesting point too about like the size of the team and like what kind of like it makes sense. Like KK Harvey is elite and is like a #1 draft pick and is also like low key like nonchalant, but like that's what probably is like the mindset that makes her elite. And like to a certain extent too, like Paige Beckers was a #1 draft pick. She is very similar in certain ways. She was definitely like that at you. Like she will not give herself flowers. Like she is very humble. Like humility, I think, is a big like value in her life. Obviously, there's a lot of like there's like a high prevalence of, oh yeah, I'm looking at her ankle. Yeah, that looks nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah, just an awkward landing. But yeah, she has learned to turn it on really well. And she was at a college that like really prioritizes that like team mindset. Like the UConn women's basketball team doesn't have their names on their jerseys. They only have UConn written on it. It's like a very, this is our team culture. This is how you have to act. It's not about you. It's about UConn. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like as the league grows, like how that creates like, celebrities and like what that celebrity status will look like, what that celebrity personality will look like in the PW.
Yeah, I think it's gonna come with the growth of the league as well. Like when you look at the level of celebrity of some of these WNBA players, I'm like, Angel Reese is more popular. Well, she's more popular than the entire WNBA, so she's not really a good example. But she's definitely more popular than the entirety of the PWHL.
Yeah.
There's quite a few WNBA players where I'm like, you're like PWHL. Like, I think it'll be interesting to see, like, as it becomes more popular, how people are going to grow into it. I actually know who I think is the biggest character is freaking Abby Murphy. Probably. Like, she's a celebrity. Like, people hate her, but she is a celebrity. She has the women's sports. Yeah, the women's sports storylines of like these leagues growing and also having villains is like I fear it's becoming set in stone, that it like feels like it has to happen. The NWSL, I don't know. I mean, the NWSL hasn't had like, I mean, what's interesting about the WNBA is that the villains are always on like racialized lines. Whereas with the PWHL, I mean, we don't have racialized lines yet because it's mostly white people. But there is kind of, I think what we've seen evolve is like the gays versus the straights, low key, which I don't think has happened as much in like other leagues. I mean, maybe it has. I don't know if it's happened in the WNBA. I don't think it has.
So with that, I think the like LGBTQ lines has more so been like the league versus the players, where like the league was very like, we don't, you see pictures of like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, like super feminine and, growing into their identity, growing into themselves. And still, I think a lot of college players with basketball, there's also obviously the intersection of like religion and like where you grow up when you grow up playing basketball and who you grow up around when you grow up playing certain sports. Like it's the same with hockey. There's so many like you could have a whole YouTube channel on like the sociology of women's sports.
Yeah, that's why I need to learn more sociology so I can break it all down here.
No, honestly, the more you learn, the more your brain just like never shuts up.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt, man. That's sick. Did you want to do Tunnel Fifth, Kate?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a good time.
Somebody
asked if I have a current favorite WNBA player. Right. Okay, wait. I have to zoom in. Wait, so we're gonna do tunnel fits, Ava.
Okay.
Unless what you want to do is time sensitive.
No.
Okay. Hold up. My thing is not big. Okay, so again, First of all, we need to talk about the Phoenix Mercury. There are no tunnel fits. They've opted out. They are notorious. Okay, so they have Kalia Copper on the Phoenix Mercury, who is one of the best dressed players in the WNBA IMO. But they also have the person who who hates doing media, who hates the tunnel fits, Alyssa Thomas. So yeah, there's like, whatever. I could go on and on. I do this with the PWHL too. I'm like, I feel like it should be in your contract that you have to do a tunnel fit and the team has to post them every game. I feel very passionately about this. But okay.
I feel the opposite about this.
Do you?
Yeah, because here's my thing. I'm like, okay, let's say you're getting paid, what is it, $37,000? I'm like, I think the league should have a stipend. I think the league should give a stipend for tunnel fits. When I did my PWHL tunnel fit videos, I was just in my mind, I was like, the fact that I know what the salaries are and they're putting together tunnel fits is wild. I 100% agree with you on that. 100%. Yeah, I do think it's
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I do think it's a great opportunity for them to grow their brand. But at the same time, it's like not everybody is fashionable. Like sometimes I want to put on an outfit, but that's like a lot of work to come up with an outfit. So I understand when they're like, I don't want to wear an outfit. It's like I wear the same t-shirt every day, and then I wash it and I wear it again. So it's like
that's very real. I think if it's a home game and you're in the WNBA, you need to do a tunnel fit. That's my hot take. But the PWHL for sure is different because like the salaries are very different and people like you shouldn't even look at the tunnel fits in the same way. Like I was really looking at it as like ingenuity and like how are they making this work? But in like I feel like you can sound offensive when you do that because like they were pulling fits. That's why I did the video. Like, you know what I mean? They were like dressed. Somebody also asked me if I have a current fave WNBA player. I wanted to ask you, Ava, if you have WNBA players you like.
No, I'm currently shopping for my current fave. Like I don't have. See, the issue, people actually ask me who's my favorite PWHL player, and I'm like, I don't have a favorite. And it's probably just the way I watch sports, but I'm currently shopping for a current favorite WNBA player. So drop in the chat who should be my current favorite WNBA player. Yeah. And I'll work on becoming a fan.
So I have all-time favorites. I mean, Brianna Stewart is one of my all-time favorites. Like I went to UConn at the same time. I tell everybody this. Like we went to UConn together. So I followed her to the W from that. So that's like whatever player gets you into the league is always like special in your heart. I love Olivia Miles. I love Paige Beckers. I love Alicia Gray. Yeah, I have a lot. What were we gonna say? Gabby Williams. Did you see that comment?
Oh yeah. I remember Gabby. I mean, she still exists. She's just in the Bay Area. It's been interesting. Like, I remember Gabby, Skylar, NECA. Like, those are all the players from Storm last year. And then, like, when I first moved here, it was like Brianna Stewart, Sue Bird. But now we have this new generation of Storm players like Awa and then, Flage. So I should probably become really big fans of them. She seems really cool.
Do you know? Well, let's do the tunnel fits. Yes. Poor Arike is just sitting on the screen. So, okay, I love this. Arike, I think notoriously is one of the best dressed in the league for sure. Absolutely incredible. This is cute. Jess Shepard, little classic moment. Is this one video? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, this one.
I was like, why are you scrolling so fast? Is this a trick? Okay, that's cute.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Wait, that kind of reminds me of the dress from Nightmare Before Christmas. The girl, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I've never seen it, but like obviously people do Halloween costumes. But that is beautiful. Favorite WNBA player, Caitlin Shin. Favorite PWHL player, Kayla Osborne.
Love that. Love the Tims. I love Ozzy and Caitlin.
Oh, I'm having a big cargo shorts moment, so shout out to the cargo shorts. Nice. That's cute. Okay, Ava, we have a thing on this show called That's a Woman Wearing Clothes. And that's just when it's like, it's not a tunnel fit. It's just somebody wearing clothes that was photographed.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks great. I think it is a woman wearing clothes.
That is true.
You cannot argue with that. Okay, I can't see that. Is she wearing a Knicks
I think
shirt
that's
jacket?
Knicks. I think that's Knicks. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Oh yes, Maddie doesn't care about the Texas Heat. She's gonna rep her Knicks. Okay. She's also from Villanova, and I think the Knicks do have several players from Nova, if that's correct.
That is correct. They have currently, I think, 4 total.
Yeah.
Or at one point they had 4. Now they have 3.
Yeah. Shout out Villanova. Kind of. I mean, UConn hates Villanova, but it's fine. Oh, I love that. Wow.
I love
That's
those
beautiful.
sandals.
Yeah. I love those skirts. I just like can't pull them off.
Same. I don't have any skirts like that.
Oh, I love
amazing.
This. Yeah, that's incredible. KK Harvey needs to just like copy paste that for real.
She does. I'm excited to see her tunnel fits.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see her tunnel fits.
Yeah. Oh, the boot. It's always so sad when there's like the lingering injury in the tunnel fit. Look at the arms. I love how like often with women's sports, it's like part of the tunnel fit is just the arms.
Yeah, for sure.
They're just open carrying. Woman in clothes, but you know, it's a pop of a unique color for sure.
Kind of giving prison.
Yeah, I see that. I see that as well.
Which kind of does something for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love that. Yeah. It's too hot for jeans.
I love the shoes.
They're in Arlington, Texas in June. Hello, it's June. Yeah, I do like the shoes.
And I also love that bag. Love
cutesy.
that bag.
With the matching Labubu.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen a lot of Labubus this year.
Do we feel like Labubus fell off? There's another Labubu.
That's kind of, yeah. I don't have one yet.
So cute. This is my favorite one. See, she has multiple Labubus. Love the shoes. Love the color.
For anyone who doesn't know, Lee Yaroo, also of the Dallas Wings, she was in Unrivaled as well. Her social media is peak. Like,
yes, I follow her on socials.
Oh my god, her social is peak. Like, I am sad every time. And you would think she's doing it like ironically, but she's not. She's doing it very genuinely, and it just works. Like, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
The Wings are pulling away with this game. Oh, and that was it. Yeah, I'm so mad at the Mercury for not pulling fits. That's like low-key homophobic on Pride Night, but it's fine. It's fine. It is hot.
I feel like they should just let some players do it. That's my thing. It's like I'm not saying everybody has to do it. It's like you should, if you want to do it, you should do it.
Oh, if we need at any point, I pulled up the Mercury's tunnel fits from like 2 days ago. So if we need that, we can pull it.
I almost sent that to you, and then I was like, wait, this was 2 days ago. Yeah, let's just judge them based on their last home game.
Yeah, it's Pride Week.
All right, so the current score is 60-42. The Wings are pulling away. I'm not quite sure where Paige is at. I'm assuming she's inching towards 30.
Wow.
$29.
Yeah. Wow.
Paisley bucket.
My box score 6 cents is like so good. Paisley bucket. Paisley Pride bucket. It's still bothering her, that ankle.
Oh.
I wonder if she'll sit out the next game.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that she's still playing.
So it's the Commissioner's Cup.
Well, yeah, but still. Like,
they're at a point where they could definitely sit her. And I like Arike and Jess and AZ are all liable to go off any given night as well.
Right.
Lan also, Alana Smith, who was grabbed from the Minnesota Lynx, had a really good, I think she was co-defensive player of the year last year. Really elite, has just, to me, like, she's been okay, but like I expected a lot more. But I do think so last year Dallas finished 10-34, 10 wins, 34 losses.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, they did not qualify for the playoffs. It was as bad as you can imagine. She just went down on her ankle funny in the second quarter. And then she came back out after a while, but she's definitely grabbing at it. It's bothering her. I think she just came down wrong on it. But she definitely needs to just rest it and ice it probably at this point. They're up almost 20 points. And the Mercury do not know how to come back. Like, I don't think the Mercury have staged to come back all season. But yeah, so 10-34 last year they finished. They didn't qualify for the playoffs. Dallas is now 7-4. They're third in the conference. They're fifth overall.
I think we're rooting for the Wings.
Yeah, they're hooping. I definitely want the Wings to win. I'm in my Paige Becker's jersey. I realized the other day I have 3 Paige Becker's jerseys, which is actually a lot and fangirl behavior. But it's fine. I claim it proudly. I actually, when I met Coach Jackie, she was like, "So you're a UConn fan?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not a crazy one." And she was like, "No, it's fine if you are." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." But I kind of meant like, yeah, I was like, I kind of mean like I'm not like an evil one, because like every team has like, you know, their problematic fan base. And UConn definitely does. So I was like, I come in peace. Yeah, AZ. Where is AZ at? I'm sorry, I was not looking at her box score. There haven't been, actually, let me not say that. I was gonna talk about injuries in the WNBA, but we're not gonna speak on that. All right, so 0 for 2 from 3. And Enrique has only taken 2 shots as well. Paige Beckers. And then nobody else is shooting from 3. Interesting.
Are the Wings doing well this season?
Are the Wings what?
Doing well this season, like overall?
They're what this season?
Are they doing well?
Oh yeah,
like, better than last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they need to win. We're not even close to the halfway point. They only need to win 3 more games to equal how many games they won last season.
Wow.
Like they cooked in free agency.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. No, Coach Jackie, like, her power is insane. Like,
so here's my thing. So yeah, Coach Jackie was originally like a soccer fan.
Yeah,
like that's kind of
and a soccer player. I think
Yeah.
soccer player. I think she may have also coached. But maybe
that
that's
would
a
make
myth.
sense.
Yeah, it would make sense, but I think it might be like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I followed Jackie for like the time. Like I was there on the come up.
Wow.
I remember her earlier videos.
Yeah, I
no,
was
her
originally...
power is insane.
Yeah, she should just unite us.
She could unite a nation. The thing is, like, she went toe to toe with Shaq. You know what I mean?
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That was so much crazier than like anybody's. Like, nobody's talking about it, but like that was wild. And
Yeah,
like he recently a couple weeks ago he did an interview, and he gave like these positive like praise. He was like giving quotes that were so PR laid, like clearly like it was fed to him, like lines were fed to him to speak positively about Angel Reese in the WNBA. And I went to like Will Trailer Park Sports Network. I went to camp. Like I was like, that is Jackie. Like that was literally Shaq having to do damage control because of Coach Jackie. Like her power is crazy.
People don't realize how powerful she is. Like
No.
I think a lot of people don't realize like the role that content creators play in society
100%.
at this point. Like when you don't have journalism, when social media is dying, that's why they created Buzzer. Shout out to Buzzer.
Yeah.
When social media is dying, it's like, who's left?
Yeah. And I think with Coach Jackie too, like there's just there's just creators who have led with their values, and like who have, and especially in women's sports, like really have, cared about the community and are listening. Yeah, it's interesting. It's so interesting.
Okay, here's my final take. So remember how I was talking about earlier about how like I think as women's sports become more popular, you're starting to see these things evolve where it's like maybe the fans don't necessarily agree with the values of their players. If fans can't necessarily relate to the players, they still want to watch the sport, then who do they relate to? The people behind the camera, the content creators.
Yeah.
And that's my final take. And because people want authenticity in the age of AI.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's like constant. It's like everything. I'm like, oh man, I'm doing it again, where I'm like, I'm not brand safe. I'm not like being palatable. I'm not being, approachable or whatever. Well, I think I'm pretty approachable, but I'm not like absorbable by like a lot of it. And then I'm like, well, I don't know. We've talked about this before, where it's like my fantasy is like, I'm just going to be myself and everything's going to work out, which is not what the data says, but that's what we're doing.
Like if you appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody.
Yeah.
And you appeal to me, Kate.
You appeal to me. No, I'm like literally obsessed with. Actually, I have a show and tell. So this is my Connecticut Sun water bottle, and the representation on this water bottle that's been growing. So I have 365 Hockey Girl. Wait, I have to make sure I'm in it. I have Trailer Park Sports Network. We have Snatch Magazine. We have Asians in Hockey Podcast.
Shout out Asians in Hockey Podcast. Ava Wood, famously.
Hell yeah. We have this.
Asian
oh my God,
hockey.
this goth like husky logo, which was crazy. I got this at a roller derby game match, women's basketball club, which has like we're women's sports pilled over here. We have the Sirens rally towel. Wait, did you keep your Sirens rally towel, Ava?
I think it's sitting over there, but I just have all my rally towels like stacked in this locker in the corner.
I didn't grab your zine, but I did at the game the other night get at the Liberty Pride night from Sophia the Liberty mini zine.
My God, it's so cute.
You know what I wonder about men's sports too is like, do they have this culture where there's like all these little artists running around like doing the coolest stuff?
I don't think there's that many artists.
They don't, and it drives me crazy. Like as a comics and zines guy, like as a big like small press dude, it's crazy that no one in men's sports is doing it, and it's the thing I'm the most like that I love the most about women's sports.
And this is an intersection with Formula One as well. So I recently a couple years ago, I got into Formula One. I'm like full like I love motorsports, and Formula One is very international. It's very global. They've done a very good job. Like. It's like IndyCar and Formula One did the opposite. IndyCar was like, let's make it less relatable to the world as we possibly can. And Formula One has done the opposite. Formula One, what like really opened my eyes was like, okay, they go to Suzuka. They go to a different country basically every time they have a race weekend. And Suzuka, like the Japanese Grand Prix, blew my mind. Like the fans, they have like these intricate headpieces. They have stuff that they've made their clothes. It's like not even, I don't even want to call it poster boards, but it's like the fan art is so diverse and creative and talented. And it opened my eyes to like, we've kind of lost the privilege in American sports to even like, we can't even bring poster boards. So it's like, I think safety played a role in this, but even before we could bring poster boards, it's also like, we were just writing with a Sharpie on paper. Like there really isn't. So I love what happens with women's sports and artists. And like, I feel like hopefully like that can be one way that women's sports influences men's sports over the next like decade. That would be so cool. Cause like, especially with like everything that's happening with the New York Knicks right now. It's like, imagine it was the Liberty and like this many people were a captive audience. Like what kind of like art economy would be just like generated from that?
Dude. And there are tons of artists doing cool Knicks stuff right now, by the way, but none of it is like sanctioned. None of it is being like taken advantage of or just, like utilized, whatever, in the larger men's sports economy. Yeah.
No, it's so interesting.
I think there's a lot of room to grow. Like there's a lot of potential there with like the intersection between art and sports that for some reason, and I don't know why, people don't realize. And also circling back to this, because actually in the PWHL, I feel like sign culture is really big. It was just that at the Madison Square Garden game, they didn't allow signs. So I think it's definitely venue specific.
Well, and that's sports with international presence tend to have like better, I don't know what the better, but like more creative fan art that like is brought to the games, or more creative ways of being fan, or like fans. Like I went to the rugby sevens a few months ago, and those fans, you know, and NWSL does this as well. Like anybody with an international presence, you'll have like the giant flags, the drums, the music, the art, like in American sports, I feel like that it's just desperately needed. Like we just need more of it. And I think women's sports is having that moment, which is cool. But
well, it's interesting because again, in like high school and college sports, you have like the bands, right? You have the whole celebration. And, you know, I feel like WNBA, like when I look at New York Liberty, like what they're doing with like Ellie and her drag numbers, like that to me is really cool.
Yeah.
I recently just got a new graphic novel, but I haven't read it yet. But I got it at I got it at a bookstore that was going, like, the bookstore was closing, so I got it for 50% off. But I saw the cover and I was like, this is literally me. It's called Cubicle Warrior. And then it had this really good graph that I was like, this is literally me. Can you see that? Career trajectory.
Yeah, real.
And it goes manager, department lead, CEO, space president. And then this one is me, where it goes like this.
Yeah, no, I love that. And also just to like close the loop on all of this conversation too, like this, and I say this all the time to the point where I'm like a creepy fan, but it's like the Snatch, like this is, I tell Sophia this all the time, who's the creator of Snatch magazine, or like the editor, I don't know what title, like this is art and history. Like I did a women's studies degree, and like we used to sit in the archives and look at stuff like this from the 70s and the 80s. Like this is going to live in a museum. And like, I don't think, I always blast this on my socials when Sophie is doing anything. It's like literally feel like a women's sports art collector at this point. Like it's so sick.
It's the best.
It's awesome.
Somebody said something that somebody said, I remember saying under 18, I hate sports because all I knew about sports was men. If younger me saw me currently, she would think I'm crazy. LOL. Yeah. Same. It's so real too. Like I played volleyball and we didn't have professional volleyball when I was playing. I remember thinking, because a lot of my private coaches were like from Croatia. And so it's like the fantasy was like, cool, maybe I'll get to like go live in Croatia or like go play volleyball in Prague, like, and just kind of romanticize like international game, which is like not, you know, it's not like the easiest thing to do in the world. And it's not like, you know, you're not living the life of luxury when you're in that situation. And yeah, like if you can't see it, you can't be it. Like truly, it's cliche, but it's been so real with women's sports.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever played sports for fun, which I think is awesome. Like, I think it's awesome to just play sports for fun. But yeah, I never envisioned playing professionally. And I also never watched sports. I was like, why would you watch sports? Why would you watch sports when you could just play them? Like, I don't understand. We're just going to sit here and watch this.
Look at us now. Look at us now. That's so funny. Yeah. I'm like, this is a thing in women's sports too, where again, I don't know, maybe with women's sports, like there's so many people who I think also they're new to sports because like this exclusion that people have experienced, like not having, you know, like as a woman or as a queer person or whatever, like just not feeling like included in that community historically. But it's like, you know, there's a lot of like, I just want everyone to have fun. And I'm like, no, like we need rivalries. We need like stakes. Like we need it to be as, you know, everything that it can be in terms of elite competition. But like, I mean, women's sports is also so good at challenging all of the like kind of problematic things that come from society that like get involved when there's like big business too. So I don't know. It's like, it's a give and take, but it's like, there is a lot of that where it's like, I'm just here to have, like, I want to just see my favorite player and I hope everybody has fun. And I'm like, I hope the other team loses and they lose bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting how like people are just coming with different perspectives and like, there's so many different types of fans. And I think that's like the most important thing is like all the different perspectives. Cause I think one thing that I've noticed with how people talk about sports, and specifically when they talk about, like, I think what I see a lot is people be like, oh, the girls and the gays. And like when they talk about like girls and the gays liking sports, I'm like, first of all, there's so many different type of people within girls and gays, right? Like a lot of the description is like, oh, like this type of person has to watch sports in this way, you know, like, oh, I'm only here for the drama, or I'm only here for this hot player, or I'm like, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you think the player's hot, go off, because a lot of the players are hot. Or if you want the drama, like you should be able to do that. But I think it's just cool to see, like, well, there's so many different type of people watching the sport. Everybody's coming from different perspectives. Just because I'm a girl, or just because I'm gay, maybe I like the drama. Maybe I also really just like watching the sport, you know? So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And again, it's like, we don't also want, and I think a lot of people do this with the NBA and the WNBA because of their like business relationship, and also because of the name. It's like people take what's already established in men's sports and think that the growth of women's sports is seeking to be identical to what exists on the side, which is men's sports. And it's like, and I think a lot of women's sports creators do a great job of talking about this. It's like, we're not growing to be identical to men's sports. We're growing to be something that people have never seen, have never had, have never experienced before. And that is like so much better, so much more powerful. It's just so exciting.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways, like men's sports is hindered because they're in these long-term broadcast deals. There's so much money in it. I'm not that there's not a lot of money in women's sports, but like once you're down this one path, it's hard to change your direction, and you really don't have any need to change direction. If you already have this broadcast deal, why not just keep doing the same thing you've already been doing?
Yeah.
So women's sports has more freedom to experiment in that way.
Yeah. And they need to push that envelope, because the people who, I think is a lot of short-sightedness on the side of the media, like with media deals. I think you see it with the WNBA and like who gets nationally broadcast games. I'm sure we'll see it as the PWHL comes to the television. Yeah, and fans need to speak up, and that is true. Like a good point about the diversity of fans and fan perspectives and who they want to see and what they like watching. And that's like, it shouldn't just be the content creators who, so I said you got COVID. I hope not. Knock on wood. Actually, I did COVID test today because I'm going on a plane tomorrow and I am COVID negative. So ethical flights. But yeah, like I think fans need to continue to be vocal about what they want to see on television and what they like watching, what they like about the league, so that eventually the media has to listen. You know, like we have to be able to come together and use our voice, and the media has so much, like the media deals are the big check writers for sports, and they really influence everything, especially with the WNBA. You hear it all the time. So media is king in that way. So the Mercury have fallen completely off.
Yeah.
That's
why this is gonna sound negative. I like basketball, and I don't want to be I know this is so annoying when hockey fans do this and they're like, hockey's the best sport. I don't think that's true. I like all sports. But I will say that in hockey, I feel like it's easier for you to randomly come back at the end. Which sometimes in basketball, I'll be watching a game and I'm like, okay, I guess 7 minutes is a long time. But I'm like, I don't know if Mercury is going to be able to come back.
It would be a cool comeback. But yeah, no, agree. Anything can, like, as I've learned in the last BWHL season, like anything can happen. It can be like 4-0 and it's like there's 2 minutes left. And it's like, because people will score goals like 1, 2, 3 at a time in like a 40-second span, which is wild. But it makes a lot of sense because of the movement on the ice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like that basketball games are shorter though.
Yeah.
And I like that there's like, now that there's so many teams in the league, I like that there's like multiple games happening in the same night, like pretty regularly.
That's hard. They need to not be like at the same time all the time, for sure. They could do better with it, but it is hard. I mean, this is like also just a stacked time. Like it's getting to the point with all the new leagues too, where it's like there's not really a time of year where there's not several sports going on, and people are really diverse. Like a lot of people are becoming fans of multiple sports in ways like demographics of people that just haven't before.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I was sick a week ago. That's why I sound like this. It's lingering.
Are you planning on watching any AUSL or WPBL? Because that's like on my to-do list, but I haven't. I mean, AUSL opening day is like later this month, I think.
AUSL opening day was yesterday.
Okay, maybe the Portland opening day is later this month.
The AUSL for people. So the AUSL is Athletes Unlimited softball. So and it debuted last year, and they had a banger first season. The entertainment product, like watching it on TV, it was seamless. It was a beautiful product. It was an electric season. It's small. I think there were 4 teams last year, maybe a couple more. And it's a very short season, and we're going to get the same thing with the WPBL, which is the Women's Professional Baseball League, and that starts at the end of July. The opening weekend for the first Women's Professional Baseball League in 70 years is at the end of July, beginning of August, and that is wild. Yeah, so somebody said, I feel bad they're playing all of their games in Springfield, Illinois. So they did brand their teams, the WPBL. There's Boston, New York. Correct me if I'm wrong. Boston, New York, LA, and San Fran. Yeah. But they're playing all of their games in their inaugural season in Illinois. So I am trying to go to opening weekend. I went to open tryouts at Nationals Park last year. And it just, like, my friend and I who went, we were crying. Like, it just, like, 70 years since women have played professional baseball. Like, we're just always experiencing history, like women's sports history. So it like gets it, like, you forget what you're like. It's just, you have to constantly in women's sports remind yourself that what is happening is so special and so historic.
And I think that's also like a really cool perspective as well, because women's sports are always being framed as like new, and it's like, okay, well, I mean,
right.
This era certainly is a new era.
Yeah.
But it is cyclical.
Yeah. So it's Pride Night in Dallas. The Dallas Wings are up 75-59 to the Mercury. No real surprise there, but Paige is en route with 6 minutes left on the clock to beat her previous points scored record. She has 31 right now. So we are seeing an elite performance. Also, another tradition, Ava, there's a few left that we have to get through tonight. Cam and I have started a tradition called the WNBA Tonight Hall of Fame. And so we've done it twice already. And so it's basically the standout player or the historic moment or the legendary iconic thing that happened while we were watching. So it looks like Paige Beckers might end up in the WNBA Tonight Hall of Fame. The first person was Jess Shepard, who had that insane triple-double. Olivia Miles was last week's. She had a banger game, and now it sounds like also, well, if you consent to it, you don't have to consent to it. Obviously, that's how consent works. But we just post Paige Beckers as a post, like a collab post with no context. And then you slide, and then it's the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
And it's just like, if you get it, you get it.
Nice.
And actually, I forgot she had that like nagging ankle injury too. I'm curious. So Jess Shepard, oh my God, Jess Shepard has a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. She could very well record another triple-double tonight. Jess Shepard is, I think, top 5 for triple-doubles ever in the WNBA. Yeah, just an impact player all over the floor. Like, so she also was on the Minnesota Lynx last year. The Minnesota Lynx, I don't know if there are any Minnesota Lynx fans in any of the chats, but the Minnesota Lynx are obviously they're like one of the most famous WNBA dynasties, probably the most famous WNBA dynasty to exist. Maybe the Aces are giving them a run for their money now, but the Minnesota Lynx, like the roster in the past few years really felt like something so special. And this last free agency, they lost so many key pieces, and they are doing very well right now. I think they're leading the league, so they're fine. They survived, but like that roster was special.
Wow.
Yeah, Paige is rebounding.
Hey, how do you feel about Pride Nights?
Well,
Sorry, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Theme nights
It's
in general are like
discourse incoming.
The in-game experience for theme nights is just kind of underwhelming in general. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know that it's that theme night because you got the email. And if you got there early enough, you got the item maybe. But we have a minor league baseball team in Connecticut, the Hartford Yard Goats, who, if you look at their social media, like, they do theme nights really well. They bring it to the food, the social media, the music, the entertainment, the like uniforms. Like, they do a theme night full out. I think with the WNBA, Pride Night is really meaningful because there has just, I mean, queer people, queer women have like really built this league up. And so it's a nice night. I mean, themes, and I don't know, like I like awareness days. It's like there's how people feel about them happening, and then there's the impact that they actually make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think those two are two very different things. And so I am pretty critical of things that like tend to make people feel good to do, but like they don't have a lot of impact, you know? But yeah, I think they can be really special. Especially there are a lot of, especially because women's sports are so hard to get to. Like, a lot of people don't live in a city or a town with them, professional leagues. So I think a lot of people do, like, they travel far to like go to, you know, the Juneteenth night, or they want to go to like the Pride night. And I think that can be really special for people too. Yeah, the Yard Goats are elite. Y'all should really truly check them out. Even if you don't live in Connecticut, they're fun.
I feel like baseball does theme nights like the best. They do theme nights so well, but
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Like, I feel like what makes it special, honestly, like for our Torrent Pride Night, because I'm one of those people who sometimes was like, Pride Nights are, okay, I shouldn't say it. I don't mean in a homophobic way that Pride Nights are stupid, but like, you know, sometimes you're like, okay, we're having another theme night.
Yeah.
Canceled. But, like, what was cool about the Torrent Pride Night, it wasn't, like, obviously it's nice for them to do the Pride graphics, but it's not about the graphics. It's about, hey, all these people were trying to like decide which game to come to, and they purposely said, hey, I'm going to go, maybe I'm only going to 2 Torrent games total. One of the games I for sure want to go to is the Pride Night. So then that creates an environment that's so special of everybody choosing to come to this one game. So it's the energy you can feel from the other people there. And yeah that's cool.
Yeah. I think, have you been to, I meant to ask you this too. So, well, I haven't been to Seattle Pride, so I don't know. But like New York Pride obviously is a huge pride. And like the years that I have been around the city and the city for Pride, like I was in, I forget, a couple of years ago, I don't know, there were just like some, I've met like older lesbian couples on the train on their way to Pride, which like a lot of, okay, like if you live in the city, and a lot of people avoid Pride because it's just like the parade itself is so like, it's exhausting. It's like the Disney World experience physically, like it's just a lot. But yeah, the people, like I've just met so many people who are like, yeah, we came up here from Tennessee, we came up here from Texas, and like we've never been to the city before. We're 60, 70 years old. We're gay. It took us decades to come out. Like, it is so special. Like, people forget, especially when you live in these like more, you know, these places in the country that are more celebratory and supportive of LGBTQ people. Like, you forget, like, everybody has a very different experience of their queerness, of Pride and what it means to them. Like, their one Pride bingo night in their town, being like one of the best nights of the year to just connect and to feel included and celebrated. Like, I think people take that for granted a lot too.
I think we definitely take it for granted. And like for me, I'm from Michigan. I mean, I'm from like a woke place, I would say, but it's like not a big city. And like we have like a city pride. And like, I remember like, how old would I have been? Like 2018. Okay. Age reveal. I was probably like a young adult, but I remember I was in San Francisco that summer, and I was like, oh my God, like San Francisco Pride. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So I remember going to that. But then at the same time, after I went, it was like, it's kind of my fault, but it was obviously very corporate. And I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be like. Although I probably should have expected that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that the other Pride events were really cool. And it was like a party. It felt like a party to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Mercury coming back is crazy, Brian.
This is crazy. This is
not
crazy.
Happening. It's not happening.
Like they are kind of coming back, but
yeah, they're doing something for sure. They can't go backwards. I'll say that. Oh, and then the last tradition that we have, Ava, too, is when the game ends, the way that we close the live stream out is that we do a word association game. So I'll throw words at you and you have to just respond. It's very simple and fun. There's not that many.
Okay, I gotta give a shout out to StayMay429. Thanks for coming through to the live stream. My first gay pride parade was in Chicago. It was a culture shock, but so much fun. Yeah, I freaking love Chicago. My sister
I love Chicago.
There.
I haven't been to their pride though.
Yeah, it looks really fun. I've never gone either, but yeah, my sister lives in Lakeview, which is kind of like also previously known as Boys Town because it's like gay.
Mm-hmm.
So very.
Do they do they like dye the river for pride?
No, but they should.
Yeah, they should. 100%. They could do pink.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if they dyed it rainbow, it would just become brown immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it would have to be pink, like the gay pink, like the tattoo, or like that pink. Pink. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's been joining WNBA tonight, or if this is your first time. I know we have a lot of PWHL fans in here. I love y'all. Y'all are awesome. If you want to get more into the WNBA, stick around, hang out every Thursday. I think the live stream sidecasts are really great too. I mean, usually we do talk more about the game, but there is so much to talk about at the intersection of the PW and the WNBA. Like I feel like it's also Pride Night, so we're just having a ball. Like this is just a party. But thank you to everybody who joined and to hung out. We're still going. We got 57 seconds left, plus word association. But
anyhow, the lesson from this live stream has been don't take Pride Night for granted.
Yeah, that's so real. Never take Pride Night for granted. Never take your WNBA team for granted.
No.
Shout out to...
Don't do that.
Yeah. Let me not talk about it tonight. It's fine. It's fine. Can I see the box score for the Wings?
42 seconds.
I know the Mercury have not been exciting to talk about all season. I'm not going to lie. The Mercury literally low-key ruined New York Liberty Pride Night. Like it was still a good time, but I was like, this is the worst team to play for Pride Night. They are like, go girl, give us nothing this season.
Dang.
It's just me and my cats is such a cute handle.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Wait, Brian, do you have a relationship with the city of Phoenix? Who's paying you? Okay. I love the mascot in Phoenix. Yeah, 30 seconds left. Yeah, I do like, I also, and maybe this is why I've been burned a little bit. I took the Mercury in the finals last season, so that was humiliating. Also dumb. I did a post with like all the women's sports creators, like who they were going for, and a lot of people went Mercury. It was a mirage. All right, so the Wings win Pride Night 85-70, 15 points.
Wow.
We have Paige Beckers hit 31 points, shot 14 for 23 for 5.
Wow.
Jess Shepard. So Jess Shepard finished with 17 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. So we had a double-double. Shout out to the person who manifested the double-double early in the live stream. We love to see that. Zaza had 7 points. AZ Fudd had 17. She shot fairly well. She shot okay. 1 for 5 isn't great for her, but yeah, no, this was such a good time. We love the WNBA here on Buzzer. We love our little sidecast live stream moments. I love doing WNBA Tonight. We do it every Thursday evening. Ava, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everybody who joined. Are you ready for, well, first of all, you know that late night show where they like pitch, if you want to tell people who maybe don't know what you got going on over in the 365 Hockey Girl world?
Sure. If you have any interest at all in women's hockey, you should definitely follow me. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have a newsletter for people who hate social media. It's called 365 Hockey Girl because I'm the girl that talks about hockey 365 days a year. And the draft is next Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. So in less than a week, I'll be live streaming it on my YouTube, but it's only for my paid newsletter subscribers. It's $5 a month, but there's a free trial. But if you don't want to come to that, you can also just read the newsletter, and I'll be doing like a draft preview on Monday. So stay tuned.
Hell yeah. I love this comment. Paige Laura Stacy'd it after that ankle. Okay, so that is absolutely going to be the caption of our no context post for the day for WNBA Tonight Hall of Fame. You can go to my page to see tonight's entry of the WNBA Tonight Hall of Fame. That's always a fun time. And yes, Ava's newsletter is like elite. I actually read it cover to cover, and reading is hard. So like it's so helpful. Thank you so much for joining. Dude, I hate how far we live from each other, but I literally am so grateful to know you. Thank you for joining. And then are you ready for word association?
Yes, I'm excited. Let's do it.
Okay. We got to brand it better. So 365 word association. So you got to go fast. You can't think about it too crazy. Are you ready to go?
Wait, so what are the rules again? Sorry.
I'm gonna throw women's sports words at you, and it's just word association. You tell me what comes to your mind.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer. All right. Word association. WNBA.
Player.
Pride.
Night.
Wife line.
Clutch.
Seattle.
Storm.
Goat.
MPP.
PWHL.
Sorry to my Americans. What goes with PWHL? I don't know. Draft?
PWHL, yeah. Expansion?
Yeah.
No,
expansion?
That's the next word. Yeah.
Phase.
Greatness.
Comes.
Oh,
It comes. Greatness comes.
Yeah.
It manifest it.
Yeah, that's like a
the
great
vibe we're
Nike
on.
t-shirt. 100%. I love that. Again, thank you everybody for joining. See you next Thursday on WNBA Tonight. Bye. Happy Pride.